where do I begin? It seems like people are fucking losing their mind over Invincible. Not even in a good way, because you have the casual fans that, genuinely like the show and are gonna keep watching regardless because the story is really good. And then you have the fans that don't understand how animation works, and the people that say it is bad. It's not peak animation, I'll admit, and it's not like the best, and I guess it is painfully average. So you might be wondering, why am I making this video? Well, it's because we still have people, and people with quote unquote, that actually think it's bad. And I don't think they know what bad animation is, because bad animation is 7 Deadly Sins. That's bad animation. Invincible has moments of bad animation, but every anime, TV show, movie, everything has bad animation. So why are we only focusing on Invincible when it has bad animation? And yeah, people, I guess it's in the hot seat because it's easy to hate, and I guess most of it, or some of it, is rage bait. But for the stuff that isn't, people are thinking. I saw a video of a 30-second fan animation for Conquest Survival, and there's also a fight that went along with it in another video. But people are saying that animation, the fight was good, to be honest, good choreography. But the animation, was okay. It wasn't anything to talk about. But I don't know. I don't really get where the sentiment's coming from, because it's not bad. One, it's not bad, and I don't have examples because I'm not editing a video, just me talking. But I don't think people understand what bad animation is. Even 7 Deadly Sins and other animes, you compare it to X-Men 97, Castlevania, and other shows like that, but Castlevania and X-Men 97 are animes. They're not Invincible. They're not Western animation. Genuinely, they are animes wrapped in a coat of paint to make you believe they're Western shows, when they are not. A Western show is I had a great example for it. Not even the Boondocks, but I'm trying to think of another example. I mentioned Family Guy before, but that's kind of the type of style that Invincible is. Not Family Guy type animation, but the style, where they animate the mouth, the hands, everything. And I don't think people understand that. And that's kind of what I'm trying to reiterate or explain. The fact that people are noticing a PNG moving across the screen, that's pretty funny. But no one notices any of these flaws in anime. I guess the bad ones 7 Deadly Sins, but in animes Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer, where, not that they don't cut corners, but the running joke is that they're being overworked. And I would rather have average animation than animators wanting to kill themselves and quit any day. And I guess people don't fucking agree with that. And I guess no one's comparing it to an, Mapper's level, except me, but then you have to wonder, why are they saying the animation's bad? And I guess it's just a handful of people, and it's the handful of people I'm talking to, but why do you guys think this? Is it all rage bait? Are you all just thinking this to be cool? Because I don't really get why you would believe such a thing. If you watch the show, and you notice the inconsistencies, yeah, but to sit there and shit on the show, and to actually call it bad is another thing entirely. And that's kind of what I want to say. because it's not bad. You're just noticing its flaws. And noticing its flaws is one thing, constructive criticism is one thing. But if you want the animation to be better, then you're going to have to wait roughly 3 years for it to be good animation. And you might be saying, Demon Slayer doesn't have to wait 3 years. Well, that's because they have a lot of fucking people. Invincible has like 50, not even, maybe 20, I think is what they said. And you might be wondering, Season 1 and 2 had a 3-year gap. Well, in an interview by Robert Kirkman and the animators, they said that it's a different animation studio animating Season 1 and Season 2 and Season 3. Same animation studio animating Season 2 and 3, but they had to build everything from the ground up after Season 1, which means Season 2 had to start all the way over again and start from fresh. So why is no one noticing that or doing research? Maybe because they don't want to do the research, but like, come on now. That just means you're blind and you don't give a shit and you're just spewing random speech. Like, I was talking about it with someone in the YouTube comment section yesterday who literally was telling me that I haven't even seen the anime, I haven't even seen Invincible, but based off of what everyone is saying, the animation is bad, and for a show that is a heavily fighting anime and a heavily fighting show, the animation should be better. And I said, but Invincible isn't a fighting show. If you watch the show, you would know that. So we have guys like this dude who is sitting here saying that the animation is bad in a fight when the show isn't about the fights. It's about the characters. It is 10% fighting, 90% character development, and 90% what happens to the character. Whereas Jujutsu Kaisen is 90% fighting. And animes is 90% fighting and filler. Nothing about characters. The plot is paper thin. And I'm fine with that, because you watch it for the fights. I don't watch Invincible for the fights. The fights are cool, but I don't watch it for the fights. And I don't think people that are fan of the show watch it for the fights either. Because that's insane. You watch it for Mark's development and the story that you're watching, and his character growth. And the fact that that dude sat there and said, well, Invincible needs to have good animation because the fights. Yeah, it needs to have passable animation because of the fights, and that's what they're doing. And it's working. And you can actually see the animation getting better each and every season. There's still inconsistencies and there's still times where they cut corners, but every show cuts corners, every show isn't going to be perfect. Look at animes where they literally draw detailed faces and close-ups of a dude's eyeball for 45 seconds. Or it's someone's internal monologue for 20 seconds and it's a still frame. No one mentions that. No one talks about that. No one mentions when animes cut corners. But when Invincible does it, for some reason, it's all everyone can talk about. That is what I'm trying to get across. Look up Yuji versus Chozo. Yugichoso. And you will see Yuji sitting there talking to himself for 45 seconds and there is nothing happening on the screen. If you look at anime for what it is, not the story they're telling you, but look at how they cut corners, then you will see all of these inconsistencies. You will see how they just animate a person's mid-torso and upper face and animate none of the legs, none of the hands moving, none of their lips moving, none of their body moving. But for some reason, when Invincible actually pokes fun at this, people are losing their mind. And God forbid, an animator poke fun at themselves. Like, what are we doing, guys? Does no one know how animation works? Actually, I know no one knows how animation works. I don't either. I'm not an animator. But I'm aware that people cut corners, just like movies. That's like complaining a movie isn't done in one take and has to cut to give break for the actors, just like you give breaks for the animators. Do people not realize this? And of course, a 30-second shot of fan animation and a shot of a highly stylized, barely moving still frame with highly detailed shots is going to look better than a show that has more animation done. It's a Western show, which means they animate more movements. Like subtle movements, like lips, like tongue, like teeth, like characters walking. It's not a cope, it's the truth. So why does no one talk about this in anime, but only in Invincible? That does not make sense. And people need to grow up, or just notice, be consistent about what you point out. Because I don't get why you're not noticing it in other shows. Have a good day.